EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see. Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The Bengals at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd. And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory. This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass. Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril. Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that'll be incomplete. Drew Sample, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles? Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They run for it with Harris. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run again with Harris. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. A give for Edwards running right. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Pickett back to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now Burrow on first down. This one hauled in by Sample, and he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
Here we go.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On third down, Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on third and a little more than a yard. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On second down, this is Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Harris running straight ahead, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals will take over here just shy of the 30. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They hand this off to Harris. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 32. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now Pickett will look to pass it. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Pickett. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They go play action with Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. Mixing up the middle. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Burrow. His throw incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the give, this is Harris. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a handoff, Edwards. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
So with your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. This is Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, here's Pickett. Pushes him over. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Harris to about the 26 here.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Pickett. Flushed out right. He's got this to Pickens. And he'll be out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Robinson, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. That's complete to Chase. Throwing, Burrow. Sliding out of the pocket. He will find his man Chase complete. Now Burrow. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. To throw, Burrow. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.